Today, we're taking a deep dive into VA loans, one of the most powerful tools available to veterans and active duty military members looking to purchase a home. VA loans offer incredible benefits like no down payment and no private mortgage insurance or PMI, but they do come with some rules about what the buyer can and can't pay for. In this video, we'll cover those rules, how to navigate around them, and the steps to obtain your certificate of eligibility, or COE, from the VA. Let's get started. One of the key advantages of a VA loan is that it limits how much the buyer has to pay in closing costs. However, there are certain fees that VA buyers are not allowed to pay for, and this can sometimes cause confusion. So, what can't a buyer pay for? VA buyers cannot pay for some specific types of fees, including pest inspection fees, attorney's fees, and loan origination fees exceeding 1% of the loan amount. Additionally, they are not allowed to pay for certain underwriting fees or processing fees charged by the lender beyond the standard 1% cap. So, what can a VA buyer pay for? VA buyers can cover typical closing costs such as appraisal fees, credit report fees, title insurance, and recording fees. But what if you run into costs you're not allowed to cover? This is where you may need some strategic negotiation, which brings us to our next section. The restrictions on what you can and can't pay for as a buyer might seem like a hurdle, but don't worry, there are ways to get out around them. Solution 1, you can ask the seller to cover certain closing costs as part of the purchase agreement. VA loans allow sellers to pay up to 4% of the purchase price towards the buyer's closing costs. This can help cover expenses like the VA funding fee, property taxes, and insurance. Solution 2, many lenders will cover some of the fees that the VA restricts the buyer from paying in exchange for a slightly higher interest rate. This is known as a lender credit, and it can be a great way to offset your upfront costs. By using these strategies, you can still keep your out-of-pocket costs low while staying within the VA guidelines. Now let's talk about the first step you'll need to take to secure a VA loan: getting your certificate of eligibility, or COE. This document proves to lenders that you meet the service requirements for a VA loan. Here's how to get it. There are 3 main ways to obtain your COE. The first way is online through the VA's e-benefits portal. This is the quickest way to get your COE. You'll log into the VA e-benefits portal and navigate to the Home Loan Certificate of Eligibility section. If the VA has your service record on file, you could have your COE in just a few minutes. The second way is through your lender. Many lenders have access to the VA's system and can request the COE on your behalf. This can save you time and ensure everything is done correctly. The third way is by mail. If you prefer, you can fill out VA Form 26-1880 and mail it directly to the VA. This method takes the longest, but it's an option if online access isn't available to you. In most cases, veteran and active duty service members are eligible for a VA loan if they served at least 90 consecutive days during wartime or 181 days during peacetime. If you're in the National Guard or Reserve, you'll need at least 6 years of service, unless you were called to active duty for at least 90 days. If you're the surviving spouse of a veteran, you may also be eligible under certain conditions. You can obtain the COE using VA Form 26-1817 if your spouse passed away while on active duty or due to a service-connected disability. VA loans are a fantastic option for those who qualify, offering benefits that are hard to beat, like no down payment and unlimited closing costs. If you're thinking about using a VA loan to purchase your home, I'd love to help you through the process, from obtaining your COE to navigating closing costs. Feel free to reach out with any questions or to get started today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more mortgage tips and home buying advice.